Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of HealthSparx, featuring the brightest entrepreneurs and innovations from the health and technology arena. I'm Michael Walsh, your host. Another exciting episode today. We got Nicole Pardo, the co-founder and CEO of Remind Technologies, the second of my interviews for the Health Wildcatter startups here in Dallas. She has got this incredible little product. It goes for your iPhone, helps to distribute your medication, keep you compliant, make sure that all that data is getting back to your provider. If you're experiencing side effects or having issues, all reported back to them so that there's that open line of communication and monitoring over what you're doing. So incredible idea that these guys are working on here in Dallas, looking to have it out, I believe, sometime later this year or beginning of next year. So really looking forward to chatting with Nicole about what she's doing. A couple quick things before we get started. Of course, be sure to subscribe to the show right here on the episode page or go to healthsparx.com/subscribe. Lots of incredible stuff coming up here in the next couple weeks, guys. Really cool startups. Want to be able to share the information with you. So this is just my way of delivering it to that inbox every Tuesday morning when I post the episodes. So go ahead and get that done. We appreciate it. Really, that's it. Usually I have a bunch of stuff. That's it today. Let's get started. Nicole Pardo, the co-founder and CEO of Remind Technologies. All right, everybody. Today in HealthSparx, I'm joined by Nicole Pardo, who's the co-founder and CEO of Remind Technologies. Nicole is a biotech medical device business consultant with a 10-year record of success and accomplishment in the life science industry. She has experience bridging the gap between academia and industry to provide solutions in the form of medical devices to solve unmet patient needs. Nicole was trained as a physician at El Bosque University in Colombia. She holds both a Master in Healthcare Management and a Master in Business Administration from Globe University, which is part of the Minnesota School of Business. And she is an alumni of the University of Minnesota Medical Devices Center Fellows Program. So with that, I welcome Nicole. How's it going?
Very good. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thanks for coming on. So let's talk about this technology a little bit. It's basically like a device that hooks up to your phone to give you your pills, right? So walk us through this. What is this thing?
That's exactly what it is. Somebody told me here that it looks like a pill box on steroids, and it's sort of that idea. Basically, the problem was that even if you know when to take your pills, you never had your pills at the time. So we wanted to bridge that gap, and we wanted to have something that could help you carry your pills at all times, and was, it would be a fit for your normal lifestyle. So basically, we have a pill box that connects to your phone via Bluetooth, and once it's time for you to take your meds, it will dispense the medication, and once you take it out, it records the event and sends the information to the cloud, which is very important here because part of the issue is that compliance or adherence to medications, it's way higher when somebody actually is notified that you are taking the pills. I mean, it's like everything in life. If somebody is not seeing or knowing what you're doing, you sometimes don't do it.
Sure.
So this is part of the issue and part of the solution as well here.
So where are we at this point? I mean, are we in a prototype for this? Apple devices only, Android devices only? Kind of, where are we at?
We are in the prototype phase. We initially, our hardware is connected to an iPhone, but the whole idea is to have the iPhones and Androids together.
Sure.
It will be a device that it's a one thing fits all. So basically, it doesn't matter what type of smartphone you have, but it has to be a smartphone.
Can't do an iPad yet.
Yes, you can, because
Cool. Okay.
iPads have Bluetooth as well. So since this is Bluetooth connected, and by the way, it doesn't have to be physically attached to the device. But when we say connected, it's because there's the Bluetooth link. So yeah, it could be an iPad. We envision televisions and anything in between.
Cool. Okay, so walk me through a little bit about how you came up with this idea. I mean, do you have a bunch of meds you take? Do you have patients you've worked with? Where did this come from?
Well, it's a little bit...
It's such a great idea.
Well, it's a little bit of everything. I was a practitioner a long time ago, and one of the things that really bothered me is that I will fix a patient, send them home, and then a week later they will come back with exactly the same issue. It was just annoying, really. By the way, that's one of the reasons I don't practice anymore. And then last year, I was working at the Medical Devices Center, and we were, working in very complicated devices, implantable devices, catheters, and things like that. And these two physicians from the transplant unit at the University of Minnesota came to us and said, we are just done here. We have a group of patients, kidney transplant patients. They come to us 3 months later. They don't take the immunosuppressants, which are the drugs that keep you from rejecting your organs when you have a new organ. And we have to find a new organ and repeat the transplant. Start over. This is just, this is not efficient. And these are people with, all the experience in the world. They have tried every single device available, every single app, and nothing is working for them. So we said, transplant patients sound like just a very unique population of people here. We'll help you, but let us see if there's actually a business here. And we realized that this is a problem that touches every single person.
I don't transplants.
I don't take my vitamins. I keep forgetting them, and my dad keeps forgetting taking his Lipitor and his aspirin every single day. And the problem is, it's a $300 billion a year problem for everybody. That's pretty pricey, I will say.
Yeah.
So we decided, yes, we'll help you, and there were 2 buckets of devices available for these people. One is the normal pill boxes that you take with you at all times, and the other
that's bucket, you take it out of your pocket.
Yeah, that's the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Right? Yeah, exactly. And actually, there are some of automated boxes that they look like a PC or a laptop case, which are pretty big. So people don't really carry that around. No, people don't carry those things around because they're heavy, they're bulky, they're just very inefficient to use. And there's the apps. Apps are really inexpensive. Some of them are free. But the thing with apps is that they only act as alarms, and they only tell you when to take it, but they don't really help you track the adherence, and they don't really help you carry your pills.
Right.
So that's where Remind Technologies come in place.
Well, and I used to work as a business consultant in a lot of hospitals, and I remember that was a big point of contention in the hospitals, was these big vaults with all the drugs, and making sure that it was controlled, and monitoring how much was taken in and out by the nurses or the doctors and things like that. So thinking of that, are we really taking this more towards the healthcare community for the nurses and doctors to use, or is the vision really to put this in the hands of the end user, the patient?
Yeah.
Or both, maybe.
Actually both, but so the end user will be the patient, but the link to that will be the provider.
Sure.
We do want this to be a consumer device, something that you might eventually get out of Walgreens or CVS or something. But we do need the input from the providers, and we see this as a tool for disease management control. So if you have been at the hospital for a couple of days and they're sending you home with a whole bunch of pills, your nurse or your physician will be the one telling you, hey, by the way, we have this system that is going to help you or prevent you from coming back in a couple of days, because it will help you know when to take your pills and which pills you have to take. Because that's the other thing. You might know that it's time now, but sometimes you have so many pills.
I was just going to ask that. How many pills can this thing hold, you think?
That's
conceptually.
Yeah, that's a very good
some people
question.
have 10 medications,
You're actually
and they're all different colors.
You're actually right. The average patient, chronic patient, I should say, they take between 10 and 12 pills a day.
Oh.
So the whole idea is that the device itself would hold that number of pills, at least 1 day worth of medication. But if you're somebody who only takes 1 pill a day, this is something that can carry your medication for an entire week. So, it depends. But yeah, it's designed to take 12 pills.
Interesting. So going back a second ago we were talking about, it all started with the transplant patients.
Yes.
So now we've said, all right, the goal is to really put this in the end user's hands, but is there a group specifically that we're really going to go after first, where this is just a huge problem above others, or is it just pervasive across medication compliance? It's just bad everywhere?
No.
Is there one real specific area where it's bad?
Yes. We plan to start, as we said, with patients taking immunosuppressants or medications that are really very important. Not that taking your high blood pressure pill is not important, but if you skip 1 or 2 doses, that's fine. But if you're taking anti-cancer medications or immunosuppressants for transplant or something else, if you skip 2 doses, that's the difference between you being healthy and you've been at the hospital right away. So those are the people that we want to start using this device with high-risk patients, basically.
Well, and that just feeds into a lot of the issues right now with readmission rates as
Exactly.
well. Like, that's what I'm asking. Like, if you go after areas that are huge problem areas right now, and we could really show the value of making sure that we lower compliance, get them to take their meds. They don't go back to the hospital.
Exactly.
Like, that saves everybody money.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Kidney transplant could cost $250,000, but when it gets into complications, it's about $1.5 million. So you do the math. It's just terribly expensive to not being compliant with your medications in
Sure.
that particular case.
All right, so where we're at right now, going back to that, I mean, we're thinking we're going to have this out in the market end of the year, beginning of next year?
No,
when can patients expect to see this?
Next year. So right now we actually just finished our working prototype for the hardware. We are in the process of developing the software, at least the basic application that would control the hardware. The full suite of applications connected to your provider will come later, of course. We're shooting for pilot studies by the end of this year, and then probably a functional device that we could put in the hands of the customers maybe mid-year, next year.
Exciting. So taking a step back, just talking about the pharmaceutical space in general, I mean, you're a former, were you ever really practicing? I mean, you were an MD, but...
Yeah, I practiced in Colombia, and I actually practiced a little bit here in the U.S., but I was more in the research side.
Is this issue of non-compliance the biggest issue we face in pharmaceuticals today?
It's one of the biggest ones, I will say. Just think about this. 3 out of 4 patients, they skip doses at least 3 or 4 times a week. So this is a problem that affects every single patient.
Why do they do? Why do we skip?
Well,
is it they just don't want to?
There are many reasons. The basic ones is just they forget. I mean, it's not they don't want to, they forget. The second one is that sometimes the doses are high or they have some side effects, and patients, they don't want to deal with that. Mm-hmm. And then there's the psychological issue as well of I don't even know if this is working. I'd rather do something else. And obviously the other one is the economical issue, because sometimes people can't afford their medication. So there are many factors coming into consideration here. But most of the time it's just, I just forgot to take it.
What's the interface in your mind going to look like when you're sitting there on your app? I mean, obviously we want to make sure it's easy to use. Mm-hmm. So when you look at what you guys are doing, maybe compared to some of the apps that are out there, I mean, what are patients going to see that's just really cool or really special about this, that makes it easy for them to not forget and to use it?
So it basically, when the alarm comes on the screen and reminds you when to take the medications, all you have to do is say yes, hit the button, and then your medication is going to be, you open the drawer and take the pill. Then you close it, and that's it. That's it for you. Now, if the app will provide you with an option to tell your physician or your nurse or whoever you want to, that maybe the medication today is making you feel a little bit dizzy. So you can actually check a couple of boxes in another screen, and that will be reported to your provider, which is a very cool option that we have right now. But really it's up to you. We're going to offer you a whole bunch of screens that would allow you to see which is the pill that you're taking. Maybe there's going to be side effects or interactions with other medications. And everything, so
it's a directory too, almost.
It's
like an encyclopedia.
Yeah, everything is going to be available for you. Okay. But it's up to you how to use it. The main part is just say yes, open the box and close it. That's it. That's the simplest thing that you can do, and the most effective one that we can offer. Just
shooting something out there, I mean, could you turn it into a game? Like we were talking Nate and I talked about that as well, right? With his PT stuff, could you make it a fun game? You win.
That's actually a very good question. And our software, we have an acronym for the software, which is Engage. And the G is for games, because we think for kids and adolescents, it's a much better approach to have a game to get them to engage with their medication therapy. So yes, definitely we are planning on having a game. It's not available now, but that's one of the thoughts for having on our software. Yeah.
So let's take a step back from Remind Tech a second and just look at, Nick and I talked about this just this past week. Especially I'm interested for you since you've got a clinical background. What are you really excited about in healthcare right now? I mean, it's chaotic how much is changing around us, but it's exciting to entrepreneurs like you and I because it gives all sorts of opportunities. So what's exciting to you?
I don't know if this is exciting for everybody, but for me, the fact that now we have to be accountable for what we do, it's very important. I'm a physician. Sometimes physicians tend to be stubborn and it's like their way is the only way. But we have to realize that we have to be mindful of the resources and we have to be, respectful of the way we treat patients. And I'm not saying that physicians don't treat patients
Sure.
well. It's the fact that in the old days, I will do what I needed to do and then, the patient will go home, and if the patient came back, it was my problem, but it wasn't really, because, it was another customer coming to my shop. Right now, what I do, or as a physician, it's really, or as a practitioner in medicine, is really important, and it has repercussions or consequences. So I have to know that what I'm doing is the best choice ever for my patients or my customers. See, the thing here is that now I can see my patients as customers, and that doesn't take the human part out of the patient, but I have to realize I have to understand the resources there. So I'm excited about being accountable for things here, but some physicians, most physicians would disagree with me actually. And paper performance. So most physicians, they will definitely debate about, be very angry about, this is not really a business or something. But you have to be. You have to think of healthcare right now as a business, not the business that makes a lot of money, the way it's been, but the business that actually saves money and make everything available for everybody.
There's this element that has been so absent in the healthcare system, especially on the business side. It's called this crazy thing, customer satisfaction.
Exactly.
And in healthcare, you're right. For the longest time, the docs and everybody, the system was built around doing as many things as many times as possible, and that's how the system made money. But the rest of the world, we operate on the model, we want people to be happy, we want loyal customers, we want really excited customers, we want all these different things so they come back when they're ready to come back, not like they come back every week or they come back every month because they're forced to. And that element, I feel like, is finally coming into the healthcare system, where we send people home and we really do give a crap about how they are and making sure that they get what they need, so that the next time we see them, it's not because they were rushed into the emergency room. It was because, they're really excited about how we took care of them, and vice versa. So that's been something that I'm really excited about as well, that element of satisfaction for patients.
Yeah, I agree. It's very important, and I'm not saying that the Affordable Care Act is the greatest one.
And we're not here to debate that.
But I'm just saying that making people accountable for their actions and in any business is a good idea.
And that's not just for the doctors; it's for the patients
it's
too.
For everybody.
It's for all
exactly,
of us.
Yeah.
And we talk all the time about how, patients. Every time that you end up in the doctor's office or the ER, it's a fire drill, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
They're unprepared. They're uneducated about what the system is and how it works. They don't have insurance, they don't have all these things. It's a fire drill, as opposed to being more proactive on the front end of it and asking questions like, how do I do a better job of taking my pills?
Exactly.
And walking in there with actually hey, this is what I'm doing, here's the data, help me.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's wrap up a little bit here. So what advice do you have, I guess, as a physician, for everyone out there just looking at the healthcare space in general right now, for navigating the pain points of the healthcare system? We just talked about a big one, be prepared. But what else could you tell folks out there, from either the doctor side of you or the entrepreneur side of you?
It's funny because those are two very different sides. But from the physician stand, I would say, always do your best for your patients. And as I said before, be mindful of the resources. Remember that repetition is not the best approach, of course, and so just just try to be connected with your patients at all times. I know it's difficult, but it takes a little bit of time, but it's something that we have to do. We have, in the old days, we had all the time to talk to the patient. Now it's a little bit short and everything, but still we need to have that, mindset of be always prepared to do the best for your patients.
Sure.
From the entrepreneurial side, doctors, the best idea you have ever, probably it's already there. So it's funny because I met a lot of physicians and scientists in general that they think that their ideas are, they're going to change the world and they're the best things ever. And they are. But most of the time there's something available already that does exactly the same thing. So, if you want to go into this business, come with an open mind. I mean, maybe your idea is good, but maybe
it needs to be tweaked
it needs to be changed, and it needs to be, formatted in a way that it actually makes a good business, because that's the whole point of entrepreneurship. So ideas are very inexpensive. Make them to come true. It's hard work. So if you're ready to do it, please do so. We need more entrepreneurs around.
Totally. Especially, doctors who've seen all this stuff.
Yes,
it's just a matter of team up with some good business people and turn it into something.
Exactly.
Well, this is awesome. Really excited for Remind Tech, and good luck here with the Health Wildcatters program and everything.
Thank you.
Very excited to see this come out. I can't wait to play with it and put pills in and see what it does on my iPhone. And
me too. We're really excited. We have a really short timeline because we know that this is something that has to be on the market.
We need it
yesterday. So yeah, we're very excited to be here talking to you, Michael, and be part of the Health Wildcatters program. This is an awesome program, and we are very thankful because there are not that many healthcare accelerators, and healthcare needs this type of empowerment and programs around. So yeah, we're ecstatic to be here.
Totally. Well, best of luck with everything, and
thank you.
Yeah, really excited to see what's going to happen for Remind Tech here in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That's a wrap for Nicole and I. Really appreciate her coming on the show today. Excited to see what Remind Technologies is going to be able to do in the market. Had no idea after sitting here talking with Nicole before and after the show just how big of an issue this was. And even, I'm here in the program at Health Wildcatters with her, and I'm listening to the problem every week, and even still didn't realize just the magnitude of this issue, how big the market was for this. So really looking forward to seeing Nicole and her company really change things and make this better for everybody. So best of luck to her. Before we sign off, of course, please subscribe to the show, healthsparx.com/subscribe, or do so right here on the website up above. Reminder as well that we're on iTunes and Stitcher Radio, so you can follow and tag along with HealthSparx there as well. So until next week, I'm your host, Michael Walsh. We'll talk to you soon.